بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين بالقاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيت الأطهار الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. صدق الله العلي العظيم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten the reappearance of our beloved Imam Mahdi ajrallahu ta'ala faraj al-sharif with the blessing of another loud salawat. Inshallah, all of us gathering tonight will be amongst his companions and his sincere soldiers with the blessing of another loud salawat. Within the resources that have been brought for us from our ulama and where they learn from the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, starting from Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi to Imam Hasan al-Askari, may Allah hasten the reappearance of his son Imam al-Mahdi ajrallahu ta'ala faraj al-sharif, we see that Rasulullah and the rest of the Imams have mentioned numerous places the signs of the reappearance of the Imam. They have not left you and I completely in darkness, not knowing what's going to happen. That's the merciful characteristic of Ahlul Bayt alayhim wassalam, that left you and I with information. They didn't leave us in darkness that, okay, whatever happens to you, happens to you. No, they did care about you and I, and us as their followers. So we see within their books, within their sermons, for example, within Nahj al-Balagha, there are 2 sermons that have been dedicated to the signs of the reappearance of the Imam of our time. 2 sermons. Narrations of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. One narration goes, which we don't have time to go through it, I'll just give you hints about it. Rasulullah one day circumambulating around Kaaba. He gets to the door of Kaaba and he holds on to the door of Kaaba. And he tells his companions, do you want me to let you know about the signs of the end of time? Salman al-Muhammadi was near him and he said, yes, Rasulullah, do tell us. And it's about almost 3 to 4 pages hadith where Rasulullah keeps saying, these will happen, these things will happen, these things will happen. And he continues on and on and on and on. Within the life of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, within the life of Imam Hasan Askari alayhi salam, all the other Imams, we see every Imam did mention hadith or 2 or more about the signs of the reappearance of our beloved Imam and the signs of the end of time. Akhir Zaman. Within these signs, which it will take us at least 6 months to cover them all, but again, as we have mentioned in the previous nights, these lectures, these gatherings, it's only start up for you to move on with the topics. The signs we see within, for example, within the Kitab al-Irshad, the Sheikh al-Mufid, a very, very good and important book to read. It has been translated into English, Kitab al-Irshad, the Sheikh al-Mufid. We should appreciate this author and we should appreciate his book, Kitab al-Irshad. Sheikh al-Mufid is a person who receives letter from Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance, where Imam addresses him as my brother in faith and strong in faith, and the lengthy letters, many of them that has been written from the Imam to Sheikh al-Mufid, even though arguably Sheikh al-Mufid did not see the Imam, but his letters did reach Sheikh al-Mufid. Sheikh al-Saduq in Kitab Kamal al-Din wa Tamam al-Ni'mah that we have introduced has brought a section and a chapter within the book dedicated to the signs of the reappearance. Sheikh al-Tusi and a lot of other maraja', a lot of other scholars, a lot of other authors have discussed the signs of the end of time and the signs of the reappearance. There are two sets of signs. One of them, general signs. Since we have only today and tomorrow, we dedicate inshallah today to the general signs, and then tomorrow to those who are called within the Arabic grammar and Arabic text, alaimun hatmi, definite will happen. But these signs that we're talking tonight, we can see that a lot of them, if not all of them, has been already happening. When Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and special this hadith that we have brought for today's lecture, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam says about the end of time, these things will happen. It's a lengthy hadith. I have picked some signs of it, making sure inshallah we are not amongst those people who these signs applies to. Sisters, please pay attention. So it's very important. That's the reason we bring the signs. So inshallah we are not of those people who are practicing these signs. We have to be aware of them. This one beautiful hadith, within the inshallah, those who have already started reading these books that we have introduced, the 4 books, Mikyal al-Makarim, Kamal al-Din wa Tamam al-Ni'mah, Al-Ghayb al-Nu'mani, and Muntakhab al-Athar. When we get to the signs, some of the signs are clear cut by the name, by the time, by the date. And there is no room for interpretation. It's very clear sign. But some of them, it's indication. Some of them, they're giving us a hint. For example, the head of the army of the Imam. Imam will have an army. The general, the head general of the army of an Imam, his name has been mentioned within the books. Imams have mentioned it. And he's from Iran. The head of the general army of the army of the Imam is from Iran. His name, Salih bin Shu'aib, or Shu'aib bin Salih. Doesn't mean, I'm giving you an example, doesn't mean a person comes and says, okay, I'm Salih bin Shu'aib, I'm the head of the army of the Imam. No. It's an indication. This individual has a characteristic from Prophet Salih and has a characteristic of Prophet Shu'aib. We have a prophet by the name of Salih and we have a prophet by the name of Shu'aib. He has characteristic from these 2 prophets. So when there are names mentioned, not necessarily is exactly their names. No, it's the characteristics that they have. So we have to be very careful when we read the signs. We should read and ask questions, always. The hadith that talks about general signs, that these signs will happen at the end of time, and it's called Asr al-Dhuhur, the era of the reappearance. They can happen, start happening since 500 years ago, 600 years ago, and is happening, and it is increasing and increasing and increasing. But they don't have indication that, okay, these signs, when it happens, Imam comes. But there are some specific signs, inshallah we'll talk about it tomorrow, that Imam have mentioned. When this happened, within that 1 year is the reappearance of the Imam. There is one sign that Imam says, when this happened, 14 days, 15 days after this sign, Imam will reappear. Those are hatmi, those are definite. But these can happen and cannot happen. Depends. So you might ask, if Imams have mentioned that these are the signs of the end of time and signs of the reappearance of the Imam, how can it be that it might not happen? Very good point. For example, until about 50 years ago, let's say 100 years ago, one of the signs that inshallah we will talk about it and we will mention it, it wasn't public as we know of it today. If the Shias were dedicated their life to the Imam of their time. And if they would have prayed for the reappearance, and Imam would have reappeared 100 years ago, we wouldn't see this sign. But people did not do what they're supposed to do to show to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are ready for the Imam. So the Imam's reappearance has been prolonged and prolonged to the date. If you remember, we said Allah had planned to punish Prophet Musa's nation for X amount of years. But since to their prayers and dedication to the religion and begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everybody, Allah reduced it by 170 years. So if we do that, it can be reduced. If not, whenever Allah has dedicated for Imam to reappear, will reappear, and it won't be coming sooner. So we have within our hands tools. We can do something to hasten the reappearance of the Imam, but we have to do it. Let's go to these signs. One day, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam gave a sermon, خطبة. قال سلوني أيها الناس قبل أن تفقدوني. He said, "O people, ask me, O people, before you lose me." And if you look within the history, no one else has claimed this argument. The statement, Rasulullah could have said it also. The rest of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam could have said it also. But due to respect to Amir al-Mu'minin, no one else have said such statement. Ask me before you lose me. One of the companions by the name of Sa'at ibn Suhan, a great companion of Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Great companion. These people, there were 12 people. They called Shurtatul Khamis. These 12 people pledged allegiance to one another, and they swore the three swearing that we have, Wallah, Billah, Tallah, that to the last blood that is within us, we will defend Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. They called Shurtatul Khamis. One of them was Sa'at ibn Suhan. Couple of places he asks Imams good questions, and Imam answers him. And those answers is for you and I to learn. Sa'at ibn Su'an asks, فَقَالَ يَا أَمِيرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ مَتَى يَخْرُجُ الدَّجَّالِ. Because people have heard from Rasulullah that there is a person by the name of Dajjal will come out. That's one of the signs of the reappearance. مَتَى يَخْرُجُ الدَّجَّالِ. When is it that Dajjal will reappear, will come out? Imam doesn't give him the time. He says, Allah knows the time, but I will give you the signs which shows when Dajjal comes is the end of the time, and the reappearance of the Imam inshallah will be soon. Imam, again, it's a lengthy hadith. It's almost like 4 pages like this. I just have handpicked some of the signs which unfortunately, it's unfortunate that we see the signs happening already. That where the Muslim nation have got to, that these signs have appeared within our society. Imam says, number 1, the first sign of the reappearance of Dajjal and end of time, and hence it is the era of the reappearance, and the reappearance of the Imam is near. إِذَا أَمَاتَ النَّاسُ الصَّلَاةِ. When people would forget the prayer and the prayer dies amongst them. Let me look at my life. How much salah we mentioned, we talked about it a couple of nights ago, and like 3-4 times we talked about the importance of salah within the era of occultation. Piety starts with salah. Let me see. Salah, does it have any importance in my life? Or no, I just pray because I have to pray. I got the routine of praying. Or no, I look forward for the time of salah. Rasulullah would tell Bilal, Arihna, relieve us from what we are in by adhan and salah. Do I see that as a relief from whatever I am in, or I see it as a burden? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh, alhamdulillah, we prayed. Let's just move on with our life. What is my approach? What is my perspective towards salah? So that's one sign that shows Dajjal will reappear. وَأَضَاعُوا الْأَمَانَةِ, trust will be betrayed. وَاسْتَحَلُّوا الْكَذِبَ, lying would be considered lawful. They don't lie, no. Lying for them become halal. Imam is talking about whom? About us, the followers of Islam, the followers of Deen, the followers of religion of Islam. Istahallu al-kadhib. Kadhib, lying becomes halal for them. Not, Imam didn't say yakdhibun, they will lie. No. Completely something that is haram by Allah and Rasul and Quran becomes halal for them. Lying like piece of cake every day. Lie after lie after lie after lie. Continue. وَأَكْلُ الرِّبَى, usury will become common. وَأَخْذُ الرِّشَى, bribes would be rampant. Unfortunately, I've heard that as soon as you go to 3 dot countries, your work, your paperwork, your whatever that you want, you won't be able to get it until you pay bribes. You have to bribe people for your normal routine bureaucracy to move forward. وَشَيِّدُ الْبُنْيَانِ, where Imam says tall buildings will be constructed. Religion will be sold in exchange of worldly gains. People, I'm just going to continue with the English translation. Religion will be sold in exchange for worldly gains. Fools will be in power. Relationships will be broken off. Carnal desires will be widely followed. Again, let me examine my own life. No one else. I have mentioned within my lectures numerous times I have mentioned it. Shaitan comes when we talk about something evil, makes us think of other people. Oh yes, I know a family. As summertime comes, they are in Paris and Italy and Florida and Greece and this and this and this and this and this. Every occasion, let me think about myself. As soon as we talk about evil, let us think about ourselves. Does this evil act apply to me? Do I have this kind of personality that I don't pay attention to my salah or not? And when we talk about positive religiosity, let me think about others. Shaitan makes me, oh yeah, alhamdulillah, I pray my prayers. Let's switch the scenario. Bloodshed will be considered a minor matter. Day before yesterday, June 12. Today's June 12? No. Yesterday, June 12, the day that we heard the news of 1,700 Iraqi Shia were killed by the massacre of a spiker. 1,700 people one day killed. How many of us knew about it? Some knew, some just, okay, it just happened. Bloodshed will be considered a minor matter. People are killed, 50 people killed in car bomb in Baghdad, in Iraq, in Najaf, Karbala, Afghanistan. Okay, people killed, okay. It's normal. Blood doesn't have any more value, which we can see again. If you think about it, all of these signs, it's completely valid. It's completely happening to our society. Forbearance will be looked upon as a weakness, and oppression will be considered a matter of pride. 2 people fight with one another, from a family, same family, or relatives. We talk to one of them, show forbearance, show helm, forgive them. Sheikh, if I forgive them, they will say, look at this person, he's weak. No, I have to show my pride. I have to show that I am a man of my words. I won't back off. I won't have forbearance. That's a sign of reappearance. Forbearance will be looked upon as weakness, and oppression will be considered a matter of pride. Kings and rulers will be sinners and transgressors. The general public shall be dishonest. The reciters of Quran will be transgressors. Don't we see them? These people who recite Quran beautifully, not mentioning name of any country, but the same people give fatwa and they agree with the government who kills and sheds blood left and right. They just read Quran beautifully, but humanity within them dead. False testimony will be acceptable. Sins would be committed openly. Don't we see it? People commit sin, and social media, as we mentioned the previous night, they are proud of it that they are within our own community. They are within a wedding, a reception, boys and girls wearing hijab, not going to the detail of it, and boys dancing, Snapchats, everybody look, we have fun, Sheikh, one night fun. Sins would be committed openly. Don't we see it? Don't we see it? It's completely obvious. Before, back in the days, centuries ago, people would go hide and do something behind the closed doors. Today, even we do it within the closed doors. We are proud to show it online. Laying false allegations will be a common thing. Sinfulness and rebellion will be rife. The Quran will be looked down upon. How many times when we are discussing within the youth and adult, we bring a verse of Quran, Sheikh, give me some good scientific fact to back your argument. Verses of Quran, hadith, I don't think so. The Quran will be looked down upon. Let me look at my life and Quran. What is Quran in my life? Does it have any role or no? Mosque will be decorated, but I'm adding myself. Attendees, Thursday night dua kumail, 1 or 2 people, may Allah bless them, I see them. Every week, snow, rain, darkness, wind. Brother Riyadh and his son. Every Thursday night they here for dua kumail. Dua kumail that Imam said if people knew what is in dua kumail, but we forget it. Minarets will be elevated. Evil people would be accorded honor. Unfortunate that we see this. Oath and promise will be readily broken. I swear to God, I will be there on time. We ask, are we going to be there Muslim time or American time? And it's good that we should say Muslim time. We shouldn't say Islamic time, because Islam says when you are on time, when you give a promise, al-mu'minu idha wa'ada wafa. That which has been promised will become near. Greed of wealth, pay attention. Greed for wealth will impel people to take women as partners in business. Maybe the husband, by him working, how many times I have said to the families, mothers should raise children. Mothers should raise children. That's the best thing that they can do for dunya and akhirah and for the community. But the expectation within life is so high. The poor father works, he cannot afford it. Every day new expectation. Every day we have something good, works good, but we have to get a newer version. Higher lifestyle. So greed, greed for wealth will impel people to take women as partner in business. Voices of the singers will rise up high, and they shall find much audience. A concert comes, there is a singer, people will line up to pay within our own community. We'll pay $75 to go and sit for a singer to sing. But when we say we have a banquet dinner, fundraising dinner, $20, $30 entrance, people, are you charging to get people to come and attend the Majalis of Ahl Bayt? What is this? Voices of singers will rise up high, and they shall find much audience. People buy tickets in advance. The lowly people shall become the leader of the community. Male and female singers shall be procured on payment. The people of this age will curse the people of the past. Women will resemble men, and men will resemble women. Don't we see this? It's obvious. All of them, one after one after one, it is happening to us. Witnesses will testify without being asked to do so on. Let me give you a story. We have one of our people, he said in his country, Islamic country, by the court, people sitting, waiting. You go, you want to prove your case, you go and say how much you will take to come and give a testimony to accept me, and you say that I'm truth. Let's say for example, X amount of dollars. He will pay them, they will come with him, and they will swear to God, I swear to God, I saw this person do such and such. What is this? Isn't this the end of the time for us? World will be given precedent over the hereafter. People, when it comes, and it's very, my time is finished. Go within the Kamal al-Din and Tamam al-Ni'mah, the hadith is there. It's a lengthy hadith where Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam give it to us. What are the signs? These are not definite, but we can see it's happening already. Imams of Ahl Bayt alayhim salam, 1400 years ago, for you and I, for our eyes to be wide open and not to fall into this trap, they told us. Worldly affairs, people will stand in line Black Friday, Thursday nights, they will take off. They just sit there so they can get something $10, $20, $30, $50, $100 cheaper. Higher than that. But when it comes to the religion, how many of those people will stand in line to get it? For free, people don't come and get it. For free, they don't get it. Action plan. Make sure the 4 books that we have mentioned, please download them, read them, look for these chapters. You don't have to go exactly from the beginning of the page by page by page. Look at the interesting topics that you have. Get in love with the book that you are reading. Makyal al-Makarib, Kamal al-Din wa Tamam al-Ni'mah, Al-Ghayb al-Nu'mani, and Muntakhab al-Athar. Muntakhab al-Athar beautifully has elaborated all of these ahadith. And make sure when we read it, again, let us think to ourselves. Make sure, again, we are not of those people who salah doesn't have meaning for them. Who lying is like normal talk. Again, cases by cases I see every day issues because of lying. And I can see the person is lying and he swear to God, Wallah, I'm not lying. I was like, oh Allah, please, if you want to punish the person, please don't make sure I'm there, because I can see what is happening right now within the community. Read these signs, and inshallah tomorrow night we will dedicate it to those signs who are definite. That inshallah we will look for it, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us alive to see these signs, and inshallah to see the reappearance of our beloved Imam Mahdi ajalallah ta'ala faraj al-sharif inshallah. Let's have a loud salawat. Let us raise our hands. We read the signs. We see the fitan, the seditions of the end of the world, end of the time, akhir Zaman. We see it. We're hoping and praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that keep us and our children safe from these seditions, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Together. Allahumma kulli waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلوات.